Heyo everyone, it is the Loki Monster here, and in today's update we have the Battleon Museum. But before we get to that, we have a quick little item here with Clarion Dawnforger. Now Clarion is a developer who has been playing the game through recently over on AE's official Twitch channel every day right after work. So we have this new item here, the blue cloak, and for days Clarion has been hunting the blue cape, which is required for this cloak. Now the blue cape is a rare lower drop. It's not a super rare, but it is an uncommon item, and you will need a total of 5 of them to craft this cloak. I guess the blue cape wasn't quite good enough for Clarion, so in order to farm the blue cape, you're going to have to travel to the Doomwood area, and then you can either farm the Screaming Woods in the Doomwood Forest up here, or you can go to Bone Cliffs, which I find much better, and farm either the Crypts or the Umber Caves. And you're looking for an uncommon Doomwood chest to spawn in those dungeons. Now for the big update, we're traveling to Battleon, and we have a new location on the menu, the museum lobby. So you're going to click on that and go straight here. So the museum is in the Scholars District, and that's the same district that you have the class trainers and the magic shop. It's the large museum-looking building right beside the sewers, and we're welcomed by a woman named Danica Rose, who has inherited the museum from a relative and is working hard to reopen it. Now, I'm not going to show all the cutscenes because I don't want to spoil any of the jokes or anything. Just going to show you the basics. So she invites us to take a look around her brand new museum. And she also has a series of questions underneath that you can read and get more information about unlocking the exhibits, etc. So basically a built-in how to interact with the museum areas. Now I was just going to check this out. This is got some displays here. I'm clicking on them and I'm not managing to interact with any of them. And I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to do. Okay, well, follow your quest in the upper right hand corner. Apparently we're going to have to check out the foliage on the plants in the museum. And then we're going to have to go check out the windows. And so you're looking for a sparkle area, and you can just follow that quest area in your upper right hand corner to find that location. Now I have found that I have been having issues interacting, having to tap on these several times in order to get the animation to go. I don't know if anybody else is having this issue. Like this one I clicked on several times and then finally it comes up. This one says it's for Guardians. And then we have to go find a pile of dust bunnies, which are right over here in this corner. And then finally, we just need to have a look at the center display that says big things. And just return to Danica to continue. But as is very clear for anyone to see, it's empty and could use a lot of work. So we offer to help. So she asked for help getting the lobby looking amazing, which is a little ironic because this actually has absolutely nothing to do with the lobby at the end, but we'll get back to that. So she explains that she is a chronomancer and that these Sisters of Time can capture moments in time and space. So she explains what these moments are and how these can be used as materials to create all kinds of chronomancer spells. So how do we find one of these moments? Well, she says they are everywhere, but before we can get the public in, we need a good exhibit for the museum. And this is where it goes awry. We've just all of a sudden skipped from doing something about the lobby to doing something about the actual exhibits. So I assumed they were going to be in the lobby, but you'll see as time comes here. So we're just going to turn this in, and she wants us to go around town and ask people's opinions what they think the first exhibit should be. So the first person we're going to go see is Winnie. And how do you know who to go see? Well, you're going to, again, watch your upper right hand corner for the quest, because they're not given by the next person. So we're going to talk to Winnie here, but she won't give us a new quest. The quest will appear in the upper right hand corner. Now I'm going to cut out most of the conversation here, but basically Winnie votes for Green Guard. Unfortunately, when the cutscenes end, it automatically triggers the NPC to open its menus, so you might have to back out a little bit. So we look in the upper right hand corner, and this time it's telling us to talk to Yulger. So we're going to travel to Battleon, and Yulger's in, and just zip over here and chat to Yulger, get what his voice is. Wow. So we turn that in to get the next quest, which is to talk to another, which this time is Lauda, and it says in the social district. So we're going to travel to Battleon and the House of Oddities, but we're not going to stay here. We're going to head out the door, and then we're just going to follow the arrow. And Lauda is the fishing NPC that's up here by the channel. Just zip over there fast, and I am really cutting out all these scenes so to save time. So our next one we're going to go visit is in the trade district, and it just says talk to a random person. Well, the fastest way to get there is literally just to turn around and go out this door right here, and we're right at the trade district. So who are we looking for? Well, I see him already. It is the, as I call him, the floating guardian. As you notice, he's floating in the air, and he says sends us on to our next one, which is to talk to Gaz. So we're going to go to Battleon and Battleon Town Square. Now this time I actually went to Town Square instead of taking a shortcut through Yulger's or the pet shop or that. It used to be that it was faster to load them that way, but we have brand new servers, and for what I saw today, there's a huge improvement on the load time for Town Square. So we're going to now, after we talk to Gaz, go talk to Warlick, and we're going to travel to Battleon and the magic shop. And we're going to talk to Warlick, and he's the last of the people that we need to talk to about what area to start with, which again turned out to be entirely irrelevant. I'll explain that in a bit, but first we're going to travel back to Battleon and back to the Lobby Museum to talk to Danica, and we're just going to turn that in and tell her that everybody seems to want Green Guard, with the exception of one person. So Green Guard, she says she's going to have to take a few extra moments to create a brand new wing of the museum for the exhibit. Now, we are questioning the fact that there are doors and they should go somewhere, but since the Chronomancers can just create stuff, that's what we're doing. And she asked us to go meet her in the brand new Green Guard wing. So we're just going to turn that in, and we're going to go have a look around. Now we'll go in. There were two doors. There's one here on the right and one on the left here. We're going to go check the right one first. It's always the wrong one, eh? And this one says Heartwood and Livingstone. I didn't go in there because she said meet her in the Green Guard one, so that's where we're going to go. So I went to the Green Guard, and this one says the Green Guard and the Underworld, so you can go to both. Now, as you see, I'm just going to click on one of these stands. There are exclamation points saying that there are quests for them. But before we go accepting quests and stuff, let's talk to Danica, who asked us what display do we want to see first. So we decide on Frogzards, because we've seen a lot of Frogzards in Green Guard. Now the thing is, you don't have to start collecting moments with the Frogzards. In fact, you don't even have to start in Green Guard. As of the filming of this video, the tokens are available for all the creatures in all the outdoor exhibits listed that you can access in the museum currently, but you don't even need to go to the museum to start collecting these tokens. If you are a brand new player, you're automatically going to start collecting these tokens. The best way to think of these tokens are a drop that is automatically picked up so you do not miss it. But I'm going to go ahead and start with the very first quest and farm that, which is 50 Frog Zard moments. And with this, you'll earn a Green Guard exhibit placard. Now, you will also earn some XP and gold, as well as there will be some titles you can earn for completing the exhibits. Now, before I went anywhere, I automatically grabbed every single one of the quests in the room to make sure that I was getting everything done at once. I thought, well, if I can grab them all, then I can do them in any order I want. I learned, because I didn't learn until I spoke to Clarion while he was streaming after I had filmed this, that the order that you do them is irrelevant, and whether you have the quests active or not is also irrelevant. So as you can see, the trend seems to be to collect 100 moments from each one, the first one only being 50 to start out. But you will find that some of these ones will be less than 100. They'll say something like 5. So what Clarion explained to me was that a mob, like a Frog Zard, will have a 100% drop rate, but certain areas will be slightly different because any number of the mobs in the area have the capability of dropping that token and may or may not. And I believe that he did mention an area like Shadow Guard, that all the mobs count for Shadow Guard. He also brought up this dungeon, the Bane Dungeon, which is in Westmere, and when somebody mentioned the turrets, which 100 is a lot since there's only 2 turrets in an instant, he explained that the Bane turret moment will also drop from the mobs, but not at the 100% rate, at a lower rate. So I'm just going to jump over to Green Guard and over to the forest, and I'm going to start farming some Frog Zards. And this is the thing I was concerned about, that when I was going to get here, there were going to be so many people on all these light mobs, it was going to get hard to even tag one before they were dead, because everybody doing this right now is a max level player for the most part, and are able to one-shot these guys. But I did eventually get my 100, and I did try partying up, guys. Guess what? They have this set up that you actually have to tag the mob in order to get the drop. So I'm going to return to Battleon and the museum so we can hand in our first quest. Now, if you're a brand new player, this is awesome because you're going to basically just earn these as you play along. If you're level 45, yes, we're backtracking and replaying all of these areas in order to get all these mobs. So after I talk to her, I have to click on the platform, and this will automatically load this tiny cutscene. That was it, the entire thing. And we can turn that in. Now that is the Frog Zards for that display. As you see, I still need the Megazard for that display. So I'll need 100 Megazards in order to place a Megazard on that display. Now once I'm finished an area, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a title. There may actually be titles for each of the platforms. This is the underworld area, so you can get an idea. You don't, like I said, have to grab all of the quests. You can grab them all if you want. This will help you keep track of them better. But if you don't want like a ton of quests filling your menu, because it can be very difficult being a max level player with no gas, having too many active quests, trying to find pet quests turn in. Honestly, I'm pretty sure I'm going to abandon a bunch of these and just farm the area and maybe only accept or take the quests that are like the turret that do require a little more RNG and aren't straightforward. Just kill 100 of this. So, I'm not just going on what Clarion said to me. I actually went, got my ult, never went to the museum, and farmed these moments. No problem. So, you don't need any of this to start earning these moments, which is great. Now, I haven't released my video from last week because it's still incomplete, and I also have a couple announcements to make for giveaways and that, and I will try to get them out before the weekend so you guys will know who won those giveaways and can check out that video if you want. It's very, very late, I know. Oops, almost forgot. You need to talk to her one last time, and that is just for her to tell you to finish the wings. So, no idea what's going on with the lobby area. I tried interacting with some of those again. I don't know. Did something get cut here? Yo, Danica, what about the lobby? Oh, and PSS that the moments in time will only drop for areas that have already been released in the museum, not areas yet to be released in the museum. You'll have to wait for a future update to farm places like Ashval or Lilosia for moments. Anyways, I want to thank you all for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.